Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, the former Hobbits, Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Billy Boyd, and Dominic Monaghan, have decided to come to the defense of Rings of Power against the racist backlash for their decisions in casting. Their decisions to change what the story maker, Tolkien, did in his own story. So, they think they're going to be they think they're going to be heroic here. They come out to defend the diverse cast after backlash. And make no mistake, they call it racist backlash. So, yeah, former Lord of the Rings stars wore merch supporting the diverse cast. Oh, look at it. And this Sindarin text says all are welcome here. And they continue to claim that the backlash against the diverse cast is racist. Well, let's examine some stuff here, folks. It's time for some education with Professor Orange Hat here. What's racism nowadays? Well, racism is whatever you want it to be. Google decides to change the definition of racism every 5 minutes to suit the pseudo-societal narrative, where the actual definitions I grew up with as a kid, are absolute distaste, disdain, intolerance of another race or ethnicity or skin color. The second definition that I grew up with was placing oneself above others based on the color of one's skin or ethnicity. Those were the two definitions of racism that I grew up with in school. I was taught these in grade school. The earlier half of grade school, mind you. We learned about racism back then, yes, because we understood that it was wrong. Now me, I was born and grew up during a time where racism was a little bit more rampant, but here's the thing. I was raised under the Martin Luther King doctrine. I was raised to not judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I was raised how Martin Luther King intended people to behave in society, in an ideal society. Well, here's the thing. Many people who are of the African American persuasion, or black, have gone against Martin Luther King's belief system. They would rather judge people by the color of their skin and not the content of their character. They would rather call a person racist if they have any sort of difference of opinion. And that is no different here. The Rings of Power cast attacked Lord of the Rings fans, Tolkien fans, for pointing out the facts that there are no black elves, there are no black dwarves, there are no black hobbits in Lord of the Rings. We were attacked by them. And we were said that we were racist by them. Because, you can believe a dragon, but you can't believe a black hobbit. Well, guess what? When Tolkien wrote his mythology, he wrote it in a predominantly white belief system. Not a racist belief system, but a area where it was predominantly white. Does that make him automatically racist? No. Does that make him racist at all? No. But we also know that Tolkien was very much against his work being perverted or changed in any way. That's why he sold the rights to movie studios for $1. He knew his work couldn't ever be faithfully adapted. But then Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings came along. And he made his movies with the intent of showing as much respect as possible to Tolkien's work. Are they perfectly adapted? No. They took out and changed many things in his works or in his movies. I do not believe that Tolkien would have liked it, to be 100% honest. I know that Christopher Tolkien didn't, his son. He said these movies were not reflective of my father's work. You changed things that were important. You changed things that mattered. Like Tom Bombadil giving the barrow blades to the Hobbits. You changed Faramir in how he said, I wouldn't pick up this thing if it laid by the wayside. He was tempted by the ring in The Two Towers. And you have people constantly saying that, well, if this scene of Éowyn defeating the Witch King was in movies nowadays, it would be considered woke. No, actually, you ass monkey. It means that we would still enjoy it because it was part of the published work. Éowyn destroys the Witch King with the help of Merry in Return of the King, the novelization. But anyway, back to the main crux of the matter. Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, and them all decided to jump on the bandwagon to defend an ignorant cause. You all seem to think that we are saying that people of different ethnicities are not allowed to be fans or are not allowed to be part of Middle-earth. Well, there were different races of humans, sure. There were the Haradrim. There were other people or other races. Tolkien had a very diverse world. It didn't have to be diverse in color. It was already diverse in other ways. Thought, race, and way of thinking. Well, yeah, thought. But these actors think they are championing a cause, except that if these actors had any sort of intelligence whatsoever, they would actually ask, could you please show us the proof that there's actual malice and racism here? Or are they simply standing up for what Tolkien had intended? If Tolkien was alive today, and if the Amazon Lord of the Rings people sat him down and asked him to watch this show, he would look at it and say, even after the very beginning, from what I hear is the scene with a child Galadriel trying to make a swan out of paper, he would say, this did not exist in my world. Elves were above such petty violence and childish fights. They didn't act like that. You have irrevocably changed my work to suit your own narrative. He would also point out that there were no black elves, that the elves were described as fair of skin and other descriptions as well. I'd have to go back into the books in order to describe them. Also, Tamriel, who is in their show, Rings of Power. She was never a queen regent, and she was also described as fairer than pearls and silver. And what was the other thing? Well, anyway, silver and pearls, light colors. Fairer than those. She was essentially deathly pale. And she was usurped by her cousin Ar-Pharazôn. So yeah, she was never queen regent. He would take issues with all of this and basically tell you flat out, you have ruined what my story was trying to, or what my story tells. This is not my story at all. He already laid into a poor film adaptation back in the 50s because they didn't get the point either. So yes, these actors who in the appendices of the Lord of the Rings from Peter Jackson in the special features all said that they were huge fans of Tolkien and that they read the books and whatnot. If you had, you would have known that what we are saying is not racist to point out. It is simply facts. And you want to know a wonderful thing about facts, people? Facts don't care about your feelings. That is going to be the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Should the 4 hobbits from Peter Jackson's work have been a little smarter in this case? Or did they simply just jump on the bandwagon and be stupid? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.